is up 27-0 on Florida A&M. Western Kentucky up 21-7 on Central Arkansas. 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Charlotte up 21-7 on Gardner Webb. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Clemson for...
That wasn't one of your picks.
What was that?
So I'm surprised that wasn't one of your picks for us. You always like to throw these freaking wrenches at us.
I picked the games really quickly because I realized 2 days ago that we didn't set this up yet. And I wanted interesting games.
90-yard touchdown run by Etienne right now.
What was that?
I'm watching this 90-yard touchdown run. Oh my goodness.
It was insane, right?
Just disgusting. And then the Jets on him. He put on the afterburners.
It was a great counterplay. Awesome.
Yeah, his patience is impressive. I'll tell you what, when he comes to the NFL, I'm going to take a hard look at him.
I'm telling you, I think he's my pick for Heisman.
I could definitely see it.
Very impressive. The game I'm watching now, Clemson up on Georgia Tech 14-0. A minute 18 to go. Actually, we're at 21-20 to go in the first quarter. 20 seconds left. Trevor Lawrence keeps it, runs again, gets another 16 yards. Thank you. Tulane up on FIU. What was that?
I said you'll take that all day.
I will. Tulane is up 14-0 on FIU. Second quarter just started.
Oh, no. My first round pick, it seems like. Just kidding. There's a lot of game left.
UAB and Alabama State in a close one. 14-13. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. And the last game that is currently going, Texas A&M and Texas State. 9.5 to go in the first quarter. The game is tied at 0. So, interesting scores so far. Dan O'Shea, let's stick with this theme of college football and finish out this show. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Okay, so the past few weeks, more than a few weeks, we've been breaking down the Power 5 conferences. We started with the Big 12, then we went to, I think it was the Pac-12, and then the ACC, or maybe I swapped them. Maybe we did ACC then Pac-12. I don't remember, but we finished strong with the Big 10 and the SEC. But you know who we didn't talk about? The Group of 5 teams.
That's right.
So I found this article that has their top 10 Group of 5 teams, and I have a few problems with it. And I'm just going to go in order 10 through 1 for you. At 10, they have Hawaii. At 9, they have South Florida. At 8, they have Marshall. At 7, they have Fresno State. At 6, they have FIU. 5 is Appalachian State. 4 is Cincinnati. 3 is Boise State. 2 is Memphis. And 1 is obviously Central Florida. I have quite a few different issues with this. First of which being, I don't understand why Hawaii is on this list. And it was made after that game. Yeah, they beat Arizona, but Arizona fucking sucks. Alright. They're missing Houston on that list. De'Aaron King is one of the most electric fucking people to watch in all of sports. And it is disgusting level of disrespect he is getting by not having Houston in the top 10 Group of 5 teams. And also, where's Army? They've won 23 games in the last 2 seasons. Why is Army not on this list?
That's true. Yeah, Army was definitely surprising teams last year, and looked poised to do it again this year.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, aren't they ranked?
Yeah, actually. Aren't they like 18th?
Let me take a look, because I'm pretty sure they are ranked. Army is ranked. Maybe not. Oh, wait. No, they're not. I could have sworn they were. Huh. Regardless, looking at the rankings, Army is ahead of Boise State, is ahead of Cincinnati, is ahead of Fresno State. Utah State's not even on the list. They're ahead of Memphis, Appalachian State, UAB. So, like, they're receiving more votes than those other schools that I just read. Why are they not even in the top 10 of group of 5 teams? The disrespect that they're giving these service academies is insane. Insane. But that's just my problem with it. What are your thoughts?
Well, where'd you get the most recent polling on that?
The ESPN app.
So I don't use ESPN very much. That's my problem. I'm not a big fan of ESPN recently.
Or ever.
When I last looked at it, I thought Army was not headlining the list, but I thought they were.
Is it possible you were looking at the list of where they ended last season?
No, it was the preseason power rankings, and it was Central Florida and Army on top.
Yeah, I thought so too. Utah State's also a good team. The fact that they're not on the list is pretty bad. When you got teams like Fresno State and you got teams like Hawaii on the list, I don't understand it.
Yeah, Fresno State weren't they top 10?
Yeah, they were top 10.
Weren't they 9th?
Let me see.
Yeah, you had Houston, BYU, Air Force all missing it. I think, potentially any of those could go above Fresno.
The only logical explanation that I can come up with in my mind for BYU and Army is if they're saying, well, we're not going to consider Independence as group of 5 because it's not a conference.
Maybe.
But still, you're leaving Houston off the list, who, again, have one of the most electric players in college football, De'Ara King. If you've never watched De'Ara King play football, do yourself a favor and fucking watch him. He is so good. Anyways, please continue.
I mean, that was most of what I was expecting for that. No one's gonna top UCF, I don't think, in that grouping.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think UCF is clearly the class, but I think they got the top 2 right. I think UCF and Memphis are the top 2. I think Army deserves to be top 5. Houston deserves to be top 10. And
yeah, Army was 10-2 last season.
Yeah, they were like 11-1. Excuse me. They were like 11-1 the season before that, right? Yeah, and last season one of their 2 losses was a double overtime loss to Oklahoma.
Yeah. And I think everyone's penciling them in for a loss against Michigan. But they will come out and punch you in the teeth and surprise you.
I think that's going to be one of Michigan's toughest games.
Yeah, Michigan better be prepped for that because Army will definitely be fired up about that, especially with this group of 5 ranking. Like that's just unacceptable. So Let's go Army for that, and I want to see them, prove the doubters wrong.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a an article from a place that I usually get pretty reliable information from. I know that Fansided's not the greatest, but I've never really had a problem with legitimacy and accuracy from their writing, as Travis Etienne takes in another touchdown run.
Of course he does.
Yep.
Of course he does.
Yes, he does. Which is not good for me, because the more he scores, the less Trevor Lawrence is going to score. I don't know. Anyways, so along with the Group of 5 teams, there are some Group of 5 players that I think are definitely worth looking at. Cole McDonald, obviously, from Hawaii. He's got a strong arm. He's really good. His accuracy needs some improvement. 4 interceptions is unacceptable against a shit team like Arizona. If it were Utah, a team that's going to force like 4 turnovers a game, that's one thing. But it was Arizona, not good. You also have a bunch of good quarterbacks in the South. In Houston, you've got De'Ara King. I don't know how many times I'm going to say his name. You've got at North Texas. If you've never watched Mason Fine throw a football, you are missing a thing of fucking beauty. Watch it. He is so good. In Central Florida, you've got, what's his name? Just transferred from Notre Dame. Brandon Wimbush. Transferred from Notre Dame. He's the starting quarterback at Central Florida. So far, leading them to a good series and a good opening game. And I know it's not a Group of 5 team because they're FCS, but keep an eye on Howard. They've got a quarterback by the name of DeAndre Francois who is going to be starting for them. So a lot of talent spread around. Usually with these Group of 5 teams, you get like one a year that is, that level of talent. But, for every other year, you've had like a Ben Roethlisberger. You've had a Carson Wentz. This year, you've got 4 or 5 legitimate fucking monster athletes playing quarterback in the Group of 5 conferences. So this is a fun year to watch football, even if you don't watch Power 5 football. All right. Dan O'Shea, you have anything you want to say about any of those Group of 5 players that don't get enough attention?
I think you hit on the big ones, and for those that don't pay as much attention to the Group of 5, I think we've done what we need to do.
Again, Mason, Mason, Fine, Fine, University of North Texas. Watch him; he's worth it. All right, let's now close out the show with a look ahead to the weekend in college football. What games are you looking forward to? What are you going to be watching if you watch college football this weekend? Obviously, besides Oregon, Auburn, what other games would you be watching?
Well, I mean, I'm going to definitely be watching that one. Let's see. Let's look at these matchups. Well, Georgia Vanderbilt. That looks fun to watch. And that's actually, I think I read today, I want to say that's got the most expensive ticket for week 1.
Yeah, because Georgia thinks they're a real program now, so they're going to start charging like a real program.
Yeah.